Okay, let me tell you a story. So it's last night and I'm in bed trying to go to sleep. For some reason tonight I'm finding it particularly difficult to go to sleep. When I go to sleep I have a radio on. It's called LBC, Leading Britain's Conversation, one of the radios in our country. And I go to sleep while they're talking about whatever it is. It's mostly politics. It could be generally what's in the news or international relations, whatever. Something I find interesting. And I can't get to sleep. And this night particularly, they're talking about a topic which I'm part of. I was part of who orchestrated. So I've been listening to this radio for about 45 minutes now, and over the whole year I'd say I started listening about 9 months ago, or 9 months ago, and I go, they say the same number every day. So I go, what if I actually call it to give my opinion? So I call up, and I had the exact same feeling I used to get in year 10 and 11 for no reason, even year 12. And it's just because I'd never really spoken on the phone with a stranger before. So back in year 10 and 11, when we'd order pizza, I'd call up the person who takes the orders, and I'd be so nervous that I'd find it hard to speak. You know when someone's voice cracks because you can just sense they're nervous in their aura, in their complexion. So I pick up the phone, and sometimes I can't speak intelligibly enough, or they just can't understand me. So eventually I, of course, start speaking a bit more normally, but then I'm just rude to them accidentally. And there was one time where the guy just hung up on me because I was just rude. It sounded like a prank call. I didn't mean it to be, or that's at least how I remember it. So I'm listening to this radio, and I dial the number into my phone, right? And it goes through, and it says, please hold, and it's playing the radio in the background. And then a woman speaks and says, what would you like to say? So I know that if I do get on this thing, I'll be speaking on live radio, okay? And because of that, and because of the exact same feeling which I felt back in year 10 and 11, or 12, I don't even remember, where I'd call the pizza guy. I just wouldn't be able to speak because I was so nervous. I just hung up the phone. So then I start getting these negative thoughts circulating. So what do? I use the same strategy I implemented and explicated last night. I wrote down my fear. I'll read out what I wrote down. I'm scared people on the radio will think I'm radical. And just before, I wrote down, I'm so scared. Literally, I'm so scared. But I eventually call again, and the person goes, what would you like to talk about? So I say what I want to talk about. I know I'm not on live radio yet. I'm just speaking to a woman who's handling the people who want to call on live radio. And we talk. She says that my situation is really interesting. And she says, I'll let you know if we have space for the live radio. So I'm waiting. And eventually she says, "Are you ready to talk?" And I say, "Yes." And she says, "You'll be on after the break." So the adverts play, and then I hear the person that I've listened to quite consistently for 9 months now about to talk to me. And it's a very surreal moment. It's like when you have seen an actor or someone you admire who you've seen and heard so much of, and maybe even formed slightly a parasocial relationship with, maybe. When you actually get to speak to them for the first time, all of that goes away. And we end up speaking. I speak on live radio. I don't like fuck it up majorly or anything. I didn't speak perfectly, but in the end, the talk show host said that I think it's a very interesting take you have. It's very interesting what I said. He thinks I was correct on why the problem is presenting itself in the way it is. And then the caller after said, "I nailed it, and I'm a smart guy," or a smart chap as he put it. And of course, I don't like to derive my confidence externally, but it's like fucking heroin, bro. I don't know what it is. People's external compliments, because like in those cases, it's 100% authentic. They're not doing it out of any self-interest or trying to get anything they want. So the compliments are 100% sincere, and that makes them even more potent. And straight after I finished the call, I just did a little victory dance in my room because I was so proud of myself that in that moment, the darkest second, if you will, instead of the darkest hour, the darkest second, when I hung up and I was too pussy to continue with the call, I just filmed a video before about negative thoughts. And the negative thoughts I was experiencing were so potent and so numerous, I just got to writing. And when I finished, I dialed again, I said what I wanted to say, and I was done. And I was happy with myself. I was so proud of myself that I chose the path which developed me. So, what's the lesson here? I think the lesson here is, for me at least, anything in life which is new, unfamiliar, uncharted, unknown, you're going to feel out of your depth to a certain extent, always. What you need to be able to do is control the extent to which you feel like you're out of control. Because that's why people get negative feelings and negative thoughts with new experiences. They feel out of control. And what do? They hang up the phone and immediately return to comfort. Back to their cute little dorm room where no one can hurt them, where it's it's nice and warm. You got nice windows here. It's like, bro, you're not going to get anywhere in life if the minute you feel out of control that you go back, okay? I'll use this quickly. Say here, a fist means you're completely in control, and the wider my hand is, the more out of control you are, okay? So I'm in my room, and as I'm dialing the phone and beginning to talk, see how out of control I'm feeling? And then just before I hang up, this is how out of control I feel. I hang up, I come back down here. Yet this action of retracting, of being so nervous and unfamiliar and out of control, back to comfort, I find this action so devilish, because it is that action which has prevented me from being as developed as I would want to be at this point in my life. And I've got such disdain for this action specifically, not so much being scared up here, but the action of choosing to come back down to comfort. I'm so sick and tired of it. I just thought, just fuck it. I called them back, I talked, and I felt fucking good for it, okay? So this is for anyone who feels nervous and who feels like they're out of their depth, like they're out of control, okay? When you feel out of control, you're making progress. Because that level of out of control you now feel then will soon feel in control. And you'll be able to keep moving forward every time. It's iterating. In control, out of control, and you're in control here. You iterate, out of control here now you're in control. No one is perfect at anything the first go. Always remember that. Don't retract. Bask in the nervousness, in the uncontrollableness, and the unfamiliarity of the situations you find yourself in, because it will reward you handsomely.